Hello students of class 11 and 12 CBSE Computer Science with Python. Welcome to Techbox 247. Hope all are doing good and studying well for your board examinations. So in this video we are going to start Python revision tool 1 from the scratch. So come on, let us move on to the video quickly. So let us see the introduction of this Python revision tool 1. So Python is a general purpose object oriented programming language. So it is considered as a general purpose object oriented programming language. In shortly we can say it as OOP. Okay, so it is a general purpose object oriented programming language. It means that the objects are nothing but the values. Okay, so this is completely depending upon the objects, so that's why it is called as object oriented programming language, and it is an interpreted, high level and very powerful programming language. So what is the term called as interpreted? Interpreted is nothing but line by line it is executing. Okay, each and every line it is checking for the errors, so that's why it is called as interpreted. And it is considered as a high level language. High level language in the sense we can be able to easily understand, so it is like an English language only. Okay, and it is considered very powerful programming language, and it was developed by Guido van Rossum in 1991 at National Research Institute for Mathematics and Computer Science in Netherlands. So you should know who developed Python. So Python was developed by Guido van Rossum in the year of 1991. Okay, so it is derived from the programming languages such as ABC, Modular 3, Algol 68, Smalltalk. Okay, so it is derived from such programming languages, and it is a model of that also. So it is case sensitive language. What it is means? So case sensitive means for small a there is a different meaning, and for capital A there is another different meaning. So in the case of uppercase and the lowercase letters, so it is very important to specify on the syntax correctly. So that's why it is called as case sensitive language, and it is an open source language. It can be freely available on the websites. Okay, so it can be used by all. So it is called as open source language, and it is considered as one of the official languages at Google. Okay, so the Google language which is using for your website is currently Python. So the next slide goes to installation. How to install Python? I have already shown you in one video how to install Python. Okay, so you can go and watch that video. I will be providing the link under the description box under this video on how to download Python. Okay, so just download Python from www.python.org. So go to this website and install your computer by clicking on the installation file, and we have many versions now. So already we have in your book they have mentioned as 3.8.2, but we have many updated versions like 3.11, 3.12 and many more. We are having many other updated versions allowed in the website. It is available in the website, so you can go and download that Python on your Windows. Okay, or else you can work on the online compiler also. So if you want to work on an online compiler, then also there is a many options. So you can go on the Python online compiler by typing Python online compiler on the Google search engine. Okay, so many online compilers will be available, and you can choose any one from it and you can work under the online compilers. Hope you all understand. So the next one is characteristics or features of Python. So let us see line by line all the characteristics of Python. So we already know that it is a high level language, and it is free and open source language, and it is case sensitive, and it is an interpreted language. So I have already said you the meaning of interpreted. What it means: Python source code is compiled to be a bytecode as a .py file. Okay, the source code or the code which we are giving. Okay, so the program we are doing is called as a source code, and it is compiled to a byte code, and these byte code is called as zeros and ones. Okay, and we are going to save that source code as .py file. All the Python files are saved in the format of .py, and this type of code can be interpreted by the interpreter. Okay, line by line it will be interpreting. That means it will be checking for the errors, and it will be moving on to the next line of the program. And it is a platform independent language, so it works on many platforms, and it has many library functions. So it is called as the feature of rich in library functions, and it is dynamic language. Dynamic means it's very fast moving language, and general purpose language. It is used by every department nowadays, so it is called as general purpose language, and it is very interactive language, object oriented programming language, and it is easy and simple. Even the learners who have not known the programming knowledge in the before, so they can also able to learn the Python very easily. And the people who has been already having the knowledge of C and C++, the Python is nothing for them, so it will be very easy for them to crack it. So Python is very easy and simple, and it is portable language, and we can move the files from here to here, on which computer to one computer to another computer. So this is portable language, and it is a scalable language. What it means, it provides improved structure of supporting large programs, so we can type large programs, so that's why it is called as scalable. And it is an integrated language and expressive language. So integrated and expressive in the sense, so we have many library functions, and all the syntax are very easy to understand, and we have many built-in functions. So this Python is considered as an expressive language. So let us move on to the next slide. Python interpreter. See, we have some of the Python interpreters like PyCharm, Python Idle, the Python Bundle, PyGUI, Sublime Text, etc. So in our classes we will be using Python Idle, and I have provided the video on how to download or install Python Idle in your computer. Okay, so let us move on to the next slide. So what are the important programming terminologies? So when coming to the terminologies, so terminologies are nothing but the definitions you should know. Definitions are the part of the chapters, so the key points you should know importantly. So what the first terminology comes as instructions. So what is mean by an instruction? A single step written to carry out an action. Suppose if we are writing C is equal to A plus B, so this is called as one instruction. This is a single step which is written to carry out an action. The action which is going to be done here is addition. We are going to add any two numbers, that is given numbers is A and B, and we are going to store that A plus B in the C variable. So this is one kind of simple instructions. So programs, what is a programs? So program is a set of instructions. So likewise, C is equal to A plus B. We have many instructions line by line to form a single program. Hope you all understand. And software. So the next terminology is software. Software is nothing but a set of programs. Okay, so the group of programs, and we can call it as set of programs. So all these are formed together to form a software. So the next terminology is source code. So what is mean by a source code? Source code is a code which is written by us as a program in the Python language. So the program written in high level language, that is called as a source code. And what is mean by machine code? So we want to know before doing the program, before going to the Python programming or any other programming languages, so you should know what is mean by source code and what is mean by the machine code, okay, and what is mean by compiler and what is mean by an interpreter. All these simple terminologies you should know before going to learn the programming knowledge. So the machine code is nothing but set of instructions in the form of binary language, that is zeros and ones. So these zeros and ones are tough for us to understand, but it is very easy for the computer to understand. Okay, so the machine code is nothing but zeros and ones, and the source code are the human code which we are giving, that is your high level language. The next one comes a compiler. So the compiler, what? The program that converts the code written in high level language into machine language. So whatever the program we are doing on the Python screen, that is your script mode, that thing will be converted to, that is the high level language which is converted into machine level language. Then only we can able to get the correct output. Okay, so that the computer will understand. So as because it will understand only the machine language. So that's why the compiler is converting the high level language to the machine level language. So the next, interpreter. So it is also a program which converts the code written in high level language to a machine level language. So in this case, the machine level language is converted by the interpreter. So we have compiler and the interpreter, but the Python is considered as interpreter language. It is not a compiled language. So it means that the whatever program we have been typing onto the computer, so it will be checked for each and every line. That means each and every line is getting checked. That is called as interpreter. So that's why this process is done by the interpreter. Okay, so an interpreter processes the instructions one by one. But in the compiler, all the programs at once, after the execution only it is getting compiled. For example, C and C++, all these are compiled languages, whereas Python is the interpreted languages. You should know the difference between both the compiler and the interpreter. So the next part of the video, that is working with Python. Very important thing, how to work with Python. So to write and run the Python programs, we need Python interpreter, also called as Python idle. That is, this Python IDLE environment, we are going to download it from the python.org, in which I have provided the video. I'm saying it again. You can go and watch how to download this Python IDLE. Okay, so to write and run the Python programs, we need a Python interpreter, that is called as Python idle. There are two modes to work in Python in the Python interpreter. So under the Python interpreter, we have how many modes? We have two modes to work. Okay, so one is the interactive mode and another one is the script mode. What is the difference between the interactive mode and the script mode? So you should know the difference. So it is convenient for testing single line of code. So under the interactive mode, so we can just check a single line of the code. Okay, and we cannot save the statements for the future use. So what is the drawback of interactive mode? We can check only the single statement. If you are going for the long programs, if you are having the program with more number of lines, then you should go for the script mode. Okay, so but this interactive mode is not used for saving the statements which you have written. Instant execution of individual statement. Okay, so all the statement will be executed on the next step itself. Okay, I'll be showing all the things practically. So working screen will gives you output on the same screen when you press enter key. That means when you're giving the statement, that statement on the same screen, the output will be provided. So that is called as interactive mode. And what is meant by script mode? It allows us to write and execute more than one instructions together. What I have said you, if your program is having more number of lines, then you should go for the script mode, so that you can save it. After that only you can execute that program. Okay, so we can open the program which we have done already, as because it is saved in the Python files. So we can save the programs for our future use. So Python scripts are saved as a file with with the extension called as .py. So very important point, how this Python files are getting saved. So it is saved by using the .py file. Just to write the commands, and we need to save the file and run to execute. Okay, so they will be asking you the question, what is mean by the interactive mode and the script mode, that is the difference between interactive and the script mode. And in the class 11th standard, the questions might be asked by giving the set of lines. Okay, and you should know the difference between how these statements will be executed. The given statements in your question will be executed in interactive mode and in the script mode. You should know the difference. For interactive mode, you should write as it is, but in the script mode you should write the print function as it is, but at the last you should write this line just to write the commands, and we need to save the file and run to execute is the key point you should write for that particular question. Hope you all understand. So let me show you how to work the Python idle. So let me open the Python idle now. So the opened file is called as interactive mode. Okay, here if I'm giving a is equal to 10, enter key, then b is equal to 20. Now I'm going to save this statement in C. C is equal to a plus b. Okay, after pressing the enter key, it will not execute anything. Okay, but what happens? It will be printing C after I click C. Okay, so once I have clicked C, written C here, then the answer will be produced as 30. 20 plus 10 as 30. So this is what the interactive mode. So what I have already said you is instant execution of individual statement. So working screen which gives you an output on the same screen when you press the enter key. So in this interactive mode, on the same screen we are getting the output. So what is mean by script mode then? Just open the file icon and you are going to click onto the new file icon. Under the new file icon, just you can do your program here. Okay, just I'm going to write the same thing. Just I'm going to write print Techbox 247. Okay, after pressing the Shift plus F5, it is asking for saving the file. Now I'm going to save the file. Okay, just I'm writing the name of the file as demo, and I'm going to save that with .py format. See the line, this is .py. I'm going to save the file with by extensions and save as type, which is Python files. You should know whether it is a text file, all file, and we have the option of saving that as a Python file. So click onto it and just save this program. And it is asked that would you like to save? Yes. So it is asking that demo.py is already existing, as because I'm doing all the things in demo.py only for doing the demos. So do you want to replace it? Yes. So now we have been started to interactive mode, and the interactive mode, it is showing the output as whatever I have given in the print function in the script mode. So in the script mode I have given print Techbox 247, and in the output on the interactive mode we have got our output what is in the print function like this. Okay, hope you all understand the difference between the working on interactive mode and the script mode completely, and you should revise all those things and the smaller concepts, the definition parts in Python revision tool 1. So let us see on the next video. Until then, study well. Thank you.